right, you guys, it's another episode of Style Studio Podcast, and I am in the studio with one of my great friends, Trashed Elegance CEO, Brittany Murray. What it do?
Hi.
So, yes, I'm really excited about doing this episode. This is actually like a retake from a prior episode that we did that did not record well. So, God is good. We are able to record live. That's basically the objective for every episode. So, I'm really glad that the audio didn't do so well the first time. So, I'm going to have Brittany introduce herself. Brittany, you can go ahead.
Okay. My name is Brittany, and I am the creator, owner of a women's website called TrashedElegance.com.
Yes. So Brittany has a dope clothing line. It's a mashup of streetwear and
femininity.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's what we're going to talk about today. Brittany is someone that I went to school with, and I pretty much watched her grow, pretty much from her early years in high school up to the time that she got into college. Literally, she's been there for me throughout my monumental seasons.
Ghetto seasons.
Right, like I was going through a hood rat season, and Brittany will pull up and be like, get your stuff, put it in the car, let's go.
Good times.
So, yeah, this episode is really near and dear to me. I just wanted to shed some light on her brand, her creativity, her authenticity. She's a very, 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 she's one of the most authentic people that I do know.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. I like her energy, her vibe, just pretty much everything. The clothes also fit amazing.
We try.
Yeah. The clothes are phenomenal. So you guys definitely check that out. So we're just going to jump right into it. So Brittany, just share with them how you came up with Trashed Elegance and how it birthed. And basically, like, I love the name. Like, I'm so in love with the name because it draws your attention. And it's like, okay, let me see what they got going on.
Yeah.
Like, what's this?
Yeah. The name came from my friend Eric. We used to work together at Forever 21, and it was actually the name of my Tumblr blog. I just had a blog on Tumblr. So he was just like, he named it Trashed Elegance because it was really my style at the time. It was risky, but it was like I could still meet somebody's mom.
Yeah. I was about to say, you love that fatigue.
Yeah, I do to this day. I'm surprised my wedding dress wasn't fatigue. But so yeah, that's where the name came from that blog. And then once I eventually started the website, I just kept that same name because I already had got a following on the blog a little bit, and it's still to this day, even though I've gotten older, it still kind of is a reflection of my style.
Right. It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
But as far as the website, I started it right after I got fired. I got fired from my job at Phipps Plaza. I was a visual merchandiser. Me and my manager, we went at it all the time. And one day, I guess she had enough. And I don't even think I was at work for 20 minutes that morning, and I was gone. Wow. And I got fired. And
what happened?
Well,
I remember you telling you wasn't working there no more.
What did it happen?
I don't remember the details of what happened.
really think a lot of it was a conflict of culture. Yes. She was Caucasian, and she had about 25 years on me, and I was 24, 25 at the time. And you know how we address each other is just different. Right. I'm not saying their way is right or our way is right, but it can be different. And a lot of times I felt as if I was being talked to and treated like a child. I mean, just disrespectful. Yeah. And I just wasn't going for it. I just wasn't going for it. And I tried, to do it the right way. We had sit downs. I had got upper management involved, but after a while, they're going to take your manager word over you.
Right.
And I wasn't going back down. And I think that's what they expected. And, after a while, it just was so toxic, and You know, it was no point. So
Right.
she fired me. And
Well,
when
she felt some kind of way about
my mom
your
always said
attitude?
that she felt, maybe she felt, you know, threatened, you know, it's somebody younger there who does the same thing she does. So sometimes people may feel a way about that. I'm not sure. But, you know, at that age, you know, especially at like 25, early 20s, you know, you ain't taking nothing. Like
Yeah.
your temperament and your patience is different. So I'm not saying I was an angel the whole time. You know, there was times I could have just maybe watched my tone a little bit, but it never started from me, if that was
Okay,
you know,
I see.
to break
You
it
weren't
down.
the seed of the issue.
No,
You kind of just put the flame out.
Yeah, it just ran its course.
Yeah.
And it was time. Now that I'm older and I think back to it, I really probably should have been gone. You know, but
And you said that was Fifth Plaza?
in Phipps, it was a store called Our House Furniture Store. So I was responsible for like the interior design of the store.
Oh, wow.
It was a real artsy job.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually loved that job.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. So, what do you feel like you learned the most from that situation about yourself?
From all my jobs, and not even just jobs. I feel like I told my Ebony the other day, the biggest thing I learned from my 20s is not everybody has a heart like you. Not everybody operates like you. Not everybody's going to do things the way you do. And it can be kind of hard to wrap your head around that because especially when you've been raised with good morals and stuff, and then you interact with some people in the world, you like, whoa, you know, and it can be hard to wrap your head around. And I feel like a lot of times I took things so personal, like they got a problem with me, it's me, and it's something I did. But a lot of times it's them. It's a reflection of how they feel of themselves. It's a reflection of their insecurities
and their lifestyle and their belief system.
And they see you, and there may be something in you that makes them feel away, and you know, you are who they take it out on sometimes.
Right, exactly. Because you're the easiest person to kind of access at the time. So you're more like the soundboard. Yeah. But then also like you got to get the brunt of everything going on in their life.
And then all the jobs, and all the jobs I've had in Atlanta were all creative jobs. So that is already another beast because you subject to everybody's opinion. Right. So in your eyes, you know, a mannequin's outfit can look perfect, but to them it's trash, you know? Right. So that's another, you know, it just...
How do you deal with opposing opinions when it comes to your creative style? Like when it comes to your creative ideas and your projects and what you put out, and you're pretty much set, like, this is what I want it to be. This is what I want the tone and the mood to be like. How do you deal with opposition when it comes to your creative projects?
The older I've gotten, I've had to just take myself out of it more, especially when you're working for someone else. I mean, H&M standard, I worked at H&M. H&M standard was their standard. Forever 21 standard was their standard, you know. So regardless of how talented you are, they are still expecting it to look a certain way. And you just have to, you know, for me, the hardest part was never my mouth. It was hiding my face expressions. To this day, if I don't like what you saying, I'm sitting there like... So I'm still trying to master that. I can't even tell you I've mastered that, but I can keep my mouth closed. You know, everybody has an opinion. Right. You just have to really build up your confidence in yourself. Where even though someone can rip your work down from head to toe, you can still go home and be like, but you know what? I believed in it and I did my best. Right. And, you know, it may have not been their vision, but I'm still proud of what I did.
And that's not to say anything less of your ability or your gift. Right. That's just, you just got to meet their standard at the time.
And keep it moving until it's your standard.
Right.
Until it's, you know, your own business or your own vision, you know, but... You know, while you're working for someone else, it's something you have to just sacrifice. It is what it is.
So when did you feel like it was time for you to move away from the corporate side into being the entrepreneur? Because I know you're entrepreneur all the way. Like you're businesswoman all the way. You might have whatever else going on, but you're a businesswoman all the way. And Trashed Elegance is all I know. Looking on the outside, even though I know what I know, but still looking from the outside in, it's all Trashed Elegance. I don't see you promoting any other. And I'm not. That's what I'm getting at. Like it's always just
it's my baby.
Focusing on Yeah.
Well, honestly, I feel like getting fired from that job was my push. I feel like God was like, all right, what you gonna do? You know, I had been in a cycle at that point. start a job, work, 6 months to a year at that job. Forever 21 was 4 years, but after that, it was just 1 year and I was gone. And I was actually going to stay in Atlanta. One of the people I worked with was like, I got a job offer for you in Ashley's Furniture, doing about the same thing I was doing at the job I got fired from. And I was going to take the offer, but I just knew in my heart I didn't want to sign another lease in Atlanta. I just didn't want to be in Atlanta no more. It was fun for a while, but after a while it kind of sucked the life out of me. And my best friend had moved to New York. Ebony had left. So it was just, I was kind of out there by myself.
Yeah.
So that's when I came home. I came home for 2 years and I got a job at the airport, Augusta Airport. And
oh yeah, I remember. That's where we
renting cars. That's when I rented to you. Yeah, in the parking lot.
I was like, what?
Yeah. So crazy. So yeah, that's when I got fired. So I just came home. I was like, let me save my money. Let me get my credit together. And I just started my business from there and been doing it since.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what do you feel like helped you birth the brand itself? I know it was mainly a mashup of what you already kind of embody as far as fashion for yourself. But what do you feel like propelled you forward to start creating on another level? Because I saw at first, I'm like, this is what Brittany would wear. Then I started seeing other pieces come out and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna wear this too. And then I started seeing you do the plus size too, which I really like that because I feel like I'm kind of in between.
It's you and me both.
Yeah, like I'm like, I am not petite and I'm not junior.
Yeah, it can go both ways.
Yeah,
sometimes like just in one body you can be, regular size at the bottom and plus size at the top, and vice versa. The woman's body is, complex.
Yeah. What do you feel like propelled you to do more as far as getting more into the different trends? But you kind of set a trend.
Yeah, that was always the vision, period. I never wanted it to be, I had to really watch how I word this because I never wanted it to sound shady, but I never wanted it to be just an Instagram boutique. I didn't want it to just be
it is what it is.
Yeah, I never wanted it to just be.
She's not only on Instagram.
Oh my God.
She's a whole CEO out here. Storefronts will be up. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Anyways.
Look, I speak life into my friends.
Yeah,
period.
And there is nothing wrong with that if people want to do that, but it's just not what I wanted. I always compared what I wanted to, H&M, Zara, Urban Outfitters. Yeah. That is what I look at. Not Zara, excuse me, Forever 21. But that is what I look at when I'm looking at not what I want to mimic, but that is the level I would like to be on.
Exactly.
As far as not just as big as they are, but the imagery and the way they style their photo shoots and the way their models stand and the locations. So, I started in my parents' garage and
oh wow.
Yeah, I set up a Amazon photography kit. It was so cheap. Set it up in my parents' garage. I had 2 lights and I don't know nothing about photography. I took the pictures with my basic Canon and I had my model Jazz who does JP Essentials.
Yeah.
She was my first model. Shout out to Jazz because she came through and we didn't even know each other. I found her on Facebook and she came and she was on time and she's done multiple shoots with me. But yeah,
I saw that. Mm-hmm. The other day I was on the site, I just had to go back real quick and just look again.
Yeah.
But
she's still on there.
This is Jasmine. I said, but it's crazy because I'm connecting with people and I didn't even know these people were connected with each other. I was just like, it's got to be something in the spirit of, creativity and artistry for us because I didn't even realize you even had those people on your on your brand.
Right. And Jazz was there when I didn't even have that website. Then I was on, I think, Wix. And I just had a real basic website. So that was before Dorica. That was before, Jazz. That's when they came. So,
but I remember, because that's the thing, I've been following since before you started doing more of the behind the scenes shots before you started going to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I saw the site beforehand, and I remember we were talking about doing an email list. Like that was like I think it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's when I first started.
Yeah, I said you need to get an email list, and he was like, okay, what do I do?
Still need to master that.
It's like a growing process. It's a growing process, but I always feel as though that I'm glad that we can go through those things one-on-one with our brand, because not to say I don't want to pay anybody, any respect, but I just get a thrill out of knowing that I did it. And
you respect it better.
Yeah.
And you appreciate it better.
Get it on your own.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So when I started with them, it was just in the when Jazz and Ebony helped me, and we set up that studio and we took some pictures. I don't know how I edited it. I think I just put a filter on it. I didn't know what I was doing. But, from that was then. And then, now, I hooked up with Derica. I want to say that 2018.
Oh, okay.
And since finding Derica, it's just been, at her studio and just trying to implement. I just want to include everybody. That's where the plus size came from, because oh my God, every time I posted something, I just felt so bad, because it never felt someone plus size was comment and be like, hey, what about us? And it's just like, I couldn't say but so much. Only thing I could tell them was like, I'm trying, and I really was, but it's not as easy as people think. They don't just make plus size in the same cute stuff that they make in regular size. It is a fight to find cute, quality, affordable plus size stuff.
I saw it at Forever 21. I was like, they got this downstairs, but then they got this upstairs.
Yeah, and you can see the difference.
This ain't hot. So I get that. I saw that. But when you decided to branch off and start doing the plus size, I saw the work put in, and I really appreciated that, because I said she actually put some effort behind what type of pieces to put together, what size plus size, clothing and model would fit, because I'm so used to seeing the usual. And the usual is the Coke bottle with the small waist.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, we don't all have a small waist.
I ain't going for that. I've said multiple times in like side conversations with my friends, there's a few websites I go to, and I'm a fan of the website, so I'm there's no shade, but I mean, I don't think I know anybody who has that Barbie doll waist and a perfect Coke bottle. And it's just like, I don't understand how you can represent women, expect women to support, but you don't show anyone that looks like them. Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's not realistic at all, not. And I mean, if you're shaped like that, God bless you, for real. But, I don't ever want it to be one of those websites where any girl can't look and see themselves on my website.
Exactly.
I'm not going for that ever.
And that's how I felt when I got the green dress.
Good. Yeah.
I don't have to have no. But I felt really good when I put that on. Yeah. Even though I didn't have the smallest stomach or biggest booty or the widest hips.
You felt confident, right?
I still felt confident putting it on. I was like, this is it right here.
And that's the goal.
Yes. And I just I felt free. I still felt like, okay, this is still me, and I put some shoes with it, and it still made me feel beautiful at the end of the day.
That's the point, though.
Still streetwear, because I'm like, look, I can literally take this, walk around downtown, hit up a bar,
go on a date.
Exactly. It had multiple. To me, it had a multiple vibe.
Right, multiple functions.
Yeah, multiple functions. Yeah. So I wanted to transition into your daily operations. Like, I had noticed, I know, you probably think I'm a stalker, but I be seeing everything that you do.
Oh, hell.
I said, oh, she got the shelves set up. Like, she got everything set. I love that. Like, how you had it all set up with all the different pieces and the sizes and all the different collections. I was like, it was so organized. I love that. Sure. But like, what?
Don't let the pictures fool you. No, I honestly Operations, money, numbers is not my strongest suit. It is not. It is
How
something.
do you get help with that?
So YouTube, really, because I haven't gotten to the point where I can hire help and all that stuff. I'm gonna get to that point, but I haven't gotten there yet. So I'm gonna make that very clear. But
let's be authentic.
Yeah, but yeah, YouTube. It's a couple of people who own boutiques or clothing stores on YouTube who I like them, and I look at what they do, but I really had to get on myself about how I was running my stuff, because even though my customer service I know is A1 and my shipping is good, I just felt as if I wasn't doing things the way I need to do for myself as far as being organized. And so I just had to really tighten up on myself. Like, you can't ask God to, bless you, give you what you want, but you're not prepared for nothing. You ain't ready for nothing. You unorganized, and you don't want him to give it to you, and you wasn't ready for none of it, and now you can't keep it. Yeah, and so I really had to have that conversation with myself. I still need to have that conversation with myself to just hold myself more accountable. I love the creative side of business, but the creative side really is not what keeps the business. You got to know that operationals and that money, and that's the stuff that I'm really trying to implement. So yeah, I have my shelving in now just to keep all my inventory organized, my plus size separate. That way I can see what's new, what's moving, because I didn't really have a good system. Okay. So right now I think it's still a couple tweaks, but I feel like now I finally have a better system.
I like that you mentioned systems. I don't know if people know, but I'm a systems person. Like, I love systems only because that's how our minds are set up as women.
True.
We got compartments. We got different compartments. Sometimes they all open at one time, and then sometimes we got them all shut. So it's like it shuts down productivity.
Right, it does.
So
and I didn't even realize that until I got it organized. I was like, this could have been running smoother. Yeah. But just being lazy.
Even thinking about that, like how you feel like it could have been like this, but it really took for you to do it that way first.
That's true.
Because I feel like nobody just jumps out the gate being like, okay, well, I need to do this on Monday. I need to do this on Wednesday. I need to do this on Friday.
But like the way social media is set up, it seems like that sometimes, like everything seems so perfect and so,
I'm glad you said,
and so it's just like, nah.
Like, this ain't no game.
Not over here.
This is not a joke.
It's literally me telling myself, like, hey, this is what you want. Make it happen,
Right.
And sometimes it still don't happen just like that. Yeah. But it happens, It does.
Like, I feel that it's good for us to be in the trenches and, like, really. And I know.
No, I know exactly what you about to say. You're right. It's just rough sometimes.
Yeah. And we just all have a process. And I'm just like, I really do mean it when I say, trust your process, because your process is honestly the blueprint for the next generation.
Right. That's true.
Even if the next generation is like, well, I don't want no clothing line, but you know that the basis of your foundation with your operations, that's going to carry over in some kind of way to something else, whether it's hair, whether it's photography, whether it's entertainment. You still have to have a daily process, and you have to have systems to keep you in place.
Right, I agree.
That's my whole thing. Like, if you don't have a system, it's kind of like you just kind of just going off the humbug, but you can't really go off the humbug.
Right, especially once money starts getting involved, because you don't know where your money's going. You don't know if you even making money.
Exactly.
If you don't have a system, like, it can look like you're making a lot of sales, and you might, but I'm learning now to do better with like my profit margins, and I had to really tighten up on like my my pricing, because I do want to be affordable, but it was just to the point where I wasn't making nothing.
Exactly. And, that's what I wanted you to get into. How did you go from, say you had a shirt that was $10.99, but you knew you had to mark it up to $19.99, or maybe even $22.99. Just those little differences in those decimals. How did you get from that point?
Honestly, I just got to that point. 'Cause I just been really getting better with these numbers. Like, back from high school, math. Nah, I hate it. The struggle. But I've been just watching videos about markups, period, and how sometimes it's not even about how much you bought the original product for. It's about the time it took to get to the photo shoot, the gas you used to get to the photo shoot, the models you had to use, feet in the models, the packaging for shipping, the labels, all of that. I want an experience. I don't want to just be shoving your items in, generic packaging forever. I did that for a long time, and I'm like, okay, it's time to elevate. So every step costs money. And I think you should implement that into your price. Now, I'm not saying rob people, because it's some stuff I see on Instagram, like, now that's just way too expensive. But that's just my opinion, and I'm not even saying they're robbing, but in my mind, it's just certain stuff just I'm not, no.
You pay for what you want. At the end of the
exactly. Day. But I do want to keep mine affordable but still good quality. So good quality sometimes costs more, you know, and that's just being real.
Right.
But it makes me think back to, I remember seeing posts from hairstylists, and they talk about the training they had to do and the hours they had to put in for their certification, and all that stuff is implemented in their price. I understand. And
it's still not over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's still not over.
Right. So
we still got a lot to do. You know, me personally, I'll segue into this because your customer service is bomb.
Thank you.
Always been bomb. It's been bomb for the past 4 years for me.
Thank you.
Customer service is something that we don't get into a whole lot. We don't touch on that a whole lot in beauty school, and that's something that I wish we would talk about
in every profession.
Yeah.
Cause my God.
Cause to me it just seems like
it is just going.
Yeah, I'm starting to see customer service is starting to take a downfall.
It's scary.
And it's like, okay, it's dollars over customer service, and I'm like, but you don't understand the dollars are not going to continue to flow in if you don't have
right. I think a lot of that too comes from, you got to really make sure what you're doing is something you passionate about. Right. Because I think a lot of people are doing stuff that they may be good at and that may bring in money, but do you truly love it?
Right.
Because when somebody going off on you about something, I think you move different when you love what you're doing. Yeah. I'm not saying you never gonna have a bad day, but I think you just move different when your name means something, when that Google review means something. You know what I'm saying? So it's just make sure you love what you do. I'm really big on passion. Don't get me wrong, I want to make money, but at the end of the day, I've done this for free. I've done internships, 12 hours on set with no money because I love fashion, and I love making women feel good. But, I think in every profession, you need to learn you need to make sure you love it. It is essential. I think it's essential in how long it lasts too.
Yeah, of course. Longevity is the goal. Right. I would hope that it's not a sprint for some people. Right.
And I have to tell myself that too.
Yeah.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, it's definitely a marathon. It's definitely a marathon. So do you feel like, I know we were talking earlier about the assistant. How do you feel about an assistant right now?
It's crazy because when I look at myself and I view myself, I really don't even see myself on that level. I know I need to change that. I know you got to really, big up yourself.
You have to wrap your mind around.
You do.
Having someone else touch your baby.
But when I'm on sets, on photo shoots, today, I really felt overwhelmed, and I don't like feeling like that because then you forget stuff. You forget somebody's earrings, somebody's dress ain't steamed all the way, So I think I told Bobby, one of my models, I think I might need to get maybe just an intern or just someone who can just help me, just someone who can do social media posting from my phone. Right. That way I can focus on my garments laying right, everybody's hair is, perfect, but trying to get that content and trying to make sure everybody looks good. It can be a lot.
And look,
it can be a lot.
I'm gonna put myself out there. When you in the city, you got a stylist. Hit me up.
Right.
Use me. That's what the vessel is for.
That's true.
So, Amen. Like I said today, you need help. You need extra hands because I be serious about that. You need to have a team, and I truly believe in having a team. So, like I said, if you're in the city and you feel like, okay, just hit me up.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah,
I can take out time. We are live. I love doing podcasts. Hear my voice on the mic. I'm not Beyonce. Don't want to be. I want to be Lauryn Hill or Sade or India Arie or Erica. And we're back. So we are here with Brittany from Trashed Elegance. I'm sorry, she's a CEO. That's what I want to say because she is a CEO, well respected, world renowned.
Oh, okay.
Her clothing is all over the world.
You better speak it.
Right. We're gonna manifest that.
Please.
Ashe.
Amen.
Yes, there we go. So, Brittany, we were discussing off air because I have to make sure certain subjects are okay with my guests. I do that. How is it wearing your multiple hats? I know you have a wife hat. You can see the bling.
Oh my God.
Bring your attention to the bling and the blessing. She is on the wife committee and squad. So she does wear multiple hats. So how is it wearing the CEO hat versus the daughter hat, the sister hat, and the wife hat? How do you find your balance? How do you gain your balance in your bearing?
I'm still learning how to balance it all. Because I'm not even to that level where it's off the chain, but I already feel like, okay, you need to put some boundaries in, you know, mainly with being a wife, cause it's brand new. Cause I haven't been married 2 years. So it'll be 2 years in September.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know why it feels longer.
Yeah, it does probably because I don't know.
I think it just feels longer just because your spirit it seems like y'all been carrying each other's spirits for a while.
I'm old.
That's a whole nother topic. Don't even get me into that.
Right.
What? What he said?
That was a real laugh. Because you caught me off guard with that one.
Yes.
No, my husband is man, he's like really like my best friend. I know that's kind of cliche, but he really is. He's known that how passionate I am about my business. Okay. I don't think I could be with somebody who didn't understand it. And I don't think entrepreneurs specifically can really be with anybody. I really think you have to be with somebody who knows exactly how committed you are to it because, you know, it's rough sometimes, you know, because in certain conversations, they don't have anything to do with business, but I will find a way to bring it back to business. And he'd look at me like, all right, here we go, you know, but he let me vent and, yes, you know, say what I have to say, but I know that I have to do better with that because that's not the only part of my life, even though it means so much to me, you know, so does he, and so does my mom and dad and my brother, my friends. Like, I can't even remember the last time I went out with my friends, you know, and I have to do better with that because I am one of those people who, once I get locked in on something, until it gets to the point where I'm happy about it, you won't see me. Yeah. You know, I don't really celebrate stuff. Like, I don't celebrate my birthdays like that. Yeah. And people have been telling me that for years, you know, it's just because there's just like a certain, you know, it's a certain place I see myself being. And when I don't see it at the age I am now, I'm like, yeah, do you deserve a vacation? Do you deserve celebrating your birthday?
Like, why not?
And you really, the thing is, you have to find a balance with that because it's like, I see now that I'm about to be, so I'm 29 and, I know time be flying, man.
Like, this is not who I knew at
right?
15.
So when I was like 21, 22, my friends would take spring break. They would go and, you know, take their week off of school. And I wouldn't. I would stay at work. And I was working at Forever 21.
You know, they was flipping them checks back then.
And, you know, I really wish I had did that, though. I wish I had took those breaks and made those memories because it's like all I did was work, you know, and I worked for a company that really would replace you like that. You know?
Yeah. You could drop dead and then you like position posted up.
Peace out. You know, it's
so on the back wall.
Right. My husband really has taught me you got to celebrate your life still. whether you know, have hit that specific goal by that specific time, you still need to celebrate the simple fact that you even went after it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm really hard on myself. I don't know if that's just an entrepreneur thing. I don't know if that's a Scorpio thing. I don't know.
I forgot you were a Scorpio.
But I have to, he has to constantly tell me like, all right, put your computer down, you know, let's go walk around the block or go get food, you know, something. But the balance is, I think, it's something, you know, I'm still working on, but it's something that I want to do better at because, you know, I love who I'm with.
Right,
you know,
right.
I think it's different when you ain't messing with who you with. You like, nigga, please, I stay in this office all day if I want to.
We married to the computer tonight.
But
get
you know,
in there and sit down.
You know, when I win, you know, I feel like he win, and you know, so. Stupid. Stupid.
Don't have me live.
Married to the computer.
It's about to get. You know how they say they married to the money?
Married to the game.
Look, this phone is my best friend.
Right.
We don't need to talk to you right now. We'll talk to you next week. We got quota to meet.
Right.
We got to make mission. But yeah, I love that. I can tell. And I think that's why my spirit is always just led to like drop something on you. I know you be like, Jamara, she always doing this. Like I always drop something on you because I'm just like, I'm always led to you one way or another. A few times throughout the year. It happens every year. Something gets a hold of me and I'm just like, hit Brittany. Yeah. Hit Brittany. Just hit her one time.
I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
I am spiritual. Mm-hmm. I try not to put that out there too much because I don't want nobody trying to invade my space. Mm-hmm. Trying to get up in there and get too close. But I definitely I'm a spiritual person, so I see things in a different eye. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I can tell just being a creative person. Mm-hmm. I mention that a lot because we have a lot that weighs on us because we are literally open vessels. Right. And a lot of times we get depleted and we deplete ourselves.
Especially when you work in jobs and an entrepreneur.
Yes.
It can be a lot.
And we give a lot of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we give so much of ourselves that we do it on an unconscious level to where we don't even realize that we need to be poured back into. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, not to say, you know, for anybody who doesn't have a husband that this cannot happen for them. But in this case, I'm happy that you have someone in your life that understands your journey, that understands the blessing and the anointing on your life and what you were called to do. And he knows where he comes into play, not where he fits, because I don't believe that people just fit like a puzzle piece, but, you know, like they're an accessory. Right. I believe that we are paired with our spiritual match, you know, with those that are supposed to walk alongside us on the journey. And
that's not just, you know, relationship wise. That's friends.
Oh yes.
You know, I think
Shout
God,
out to Neighbor.
right, from my parents, you know, I mean, the support, you know, from all of them,
right,
it's unmatched. For sure.
And you need that.
You
need the balance. And a lot of times we don't even realize what we need until we're like completely empty and we're like stuck. Yeah. You know, and
sometimes we just gotta step away. And I think that's where those people, that your support system, just like when people have new babies and they talk about how they didn't get through it without their support system, it's the same way with entrepreneurship. And not even just entrepreneurship, I mean new jobs, just, you know, school, you know, that's your support system is everything. Right. And you don't have to be a lot of people, but every person does need to play a significant role. Right.
So do you feel like, this is so sorry because I know people be like, oh my God, but like do you feel like once you start building like onto your family, do you feel like you'll have your kids?
Lord, here you go.
I didn't say it. I ain't come out and just say it. I was talking like it was already started.
The pressure.
No, but I'm saying like, okay, for example, like, you know, you have kids, you're a creative person. Do you want to get them into learning how to sew their own clothes?
Well, I mean, whatever they want to do, as long as it's, you know, legally okay. Yeah, I'll never want to, because my parents was like that. My mom and dad, you know, don't get it wrong. My mama did not play to this day, but she let me express her and my dad. They let us express ourselves as long as we, you know, was still conducting ourselves as children. I remember wearing all types of colorful stuff, mismatched stuff. You know, my mom.
You with them headbands, boy.
Yeah,
oh my God.
yeah. So yeah, I'm off. You let your kids, you know, figure out what they want to do. You know, I don't have any kids yet, but I don't see myself telling them you need to. I think that makes them pull away.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Like I see this, just an example. This is a wild example, but Serena just hit my head. Serena Williams. I see how she is with her daughter and how she kind of just lets her
express.
She just lets her express herself and her creativity. And then I see it with my friend Anna too. Like, her daughter is a firecracker. Like, you didn't meet her. Monet met her. But I see how, you know, the moms that I've been around, they just let their kids kind of just have their free will. But I see that certain level of discipline that they still have and that they give them. But then they continue to just let them, like, be who they are. Yeah. And their personalities are so vibrant and so... And
I love people like that.
I love that. Like, I love to see that kind of parenting where it's not so rigid. You know,
and then they grow to be very just beautiful adults too.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what helps to bring more creatives to the forefront too.
It starts with your parents.
Oh yeah. Because if you're held back in any kind of way from just being able to express what's in your mind, I kind of feel like you become a prison to your own thoughts. Yeah.
And I think it takes a hit to your confidence, because your parents, I really feel like, are the people who give you your confidence, you know, get from the jump, you know? So, you know, I remember my dad used to let me like decorate I remember me being like so young in Germany, and my dad had this old like military trunk that he didn't use anymore. So he let me take it and put it in my room. Why I was like elementary school with a table in my room, like I had my own loft or something, I don't know. But my dad let me put my own tablecloth on there in this bowl with floating candles in it. Aww. I was like in middle school, elementary school. I really want to say elementary, but they just let me, you know.
Wow.
They really let me, you know. I love them. But they let me really just be me, you know.
That's crazy. That's the only person I haven't seen.
My dad. Oh yeah,
that's it.
I love my dad. He is off the chain.
I've seen your brother, seen your mom, but I have not seen your dad.
Yeah, he's a delight. That he is.
Oh my God. Okay, so I just want to talk about one more thing. Talk about your time, like, overseas. Like, how did that play a role in how you pretty much conduct yourself around other cultures and being a diverse person? Because you're very diverse when it comes to just interacting with different types of people and style.
I honestly, I wouldn't want to be raised any other way. I was military brat. My best friends when I lived in Germany, one was Asian, one was white, and then I had, you know, of course, black friends. So I grew up with so many different people, and it was normal to me when I moved to Augusta. That was like culture shock to me, because when I moved to Augusta, I was 16. So I was the end of my end of my sophomore year, about to be my junior year. So I spent most of my time overseas, and so that was it was culture shock, but I mean, I guess it just, you know, I always have been big on representation, and that may be the reason why, just because I always seen everyone represented.
Everyone represented. Everybody was included.
Everyone, you know. So it's been an adjustment as far as like with my site to, you know, right now I've only worked with black models. So, you know, This subject is kind of touchy for me. Not touchy, but it's just like I've had this conversation with multiple people because I really want to keep it that way. Okay. I really, you know, I just feel like we don't have nothing that's just ours. You know, and I feel like
we have to appropriate.
Yeah, I feel like we have to always share with someone else, or someone has to take everything we have,
right?
And we get no credit for it.
Exactly.
I can't tell you how many fashion shows I've watched when they will send 15 models down the runway with cornrows and bamboo earrings, but they all white. Get a black model.
Exactly. That's us.
Right.
That's what you're trying to show.
Exactly. And that's usually who the number one consumer is. Exactly. You know, who you see the most in Gucci and all this stuff. You see black folk in this. I don't see too many Caucasian celebrities in Gucci like the way I see black rappers, you know, in Gucci.
Right.
But the point being is just when I think about my website, you know, I've played with the idea of maybe incorporating other races and ethnicities, but I just right now I feel like we need something.
You want to represent us.
You have to. Yeah. You know, that's where I came from, and whenever I have a seed, they're gonna be black. You know, so we have to be represented, and we have to be represented well, and every shade, every weight. So it's just that's really important to me. The whole body type thing we talked about earlier, and making sure we represented as black women, in a positive light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't feel as though we have enough.
We don't.
I don't feel like we should stop until the world realizes
Wake
that
up.
You know, we're here.
Right.
We own more than 3%.
Right. And I think they feeling it now with this, you know, with everybody really talking about, you know, shot black and all that stuff.
There's definitely a revolution going on. And we're currently in the middle of a revolution.
Right. You see a lot of brands, you know, putting out these silly statements, you know, I'm not trying to be rude or nothing, but a lot of these statements, you know, we're all for inclusion, but then you look at their Facebook and Instagram feed, and every model is white, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Exactly.
And then every once in a while they'll throw you in one dark skinned girl.
And I'm thinking, why is that every once in a while?
And they know what they're doing. It's just so they can say they diverse enough
to keep affirmative action in order.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Though. They know what they're doing.
And I think that's another reason why I don't feel bad about having a brand. Yes.
Right.
It's catered to women who have all textures, but it's catered to women who are of color. You know, different variations of melanin.
Right.
You know, you have a curl. If you have a curl, we are for you.
Yeah. That's and the thing is, I feel like it hasn't kept me from reaching other people. I mean, I have white customers. I have friends from when I was in 4th, 5th grade who are white and still shop for me all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, I'm learning that everybody ain't gonna like it, you know, but it ain't for everybody at the same time. So you just gotta, you know, you can't lose your morals in anything you do. And I just feel like we are so underrepresented, you know, and it's just old.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's getting old.
I wouldn't feel I'm being authentic to myself if I put a whole bunch of people on the website that didn't look like me.
Right. So, exactly.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like it's only doing yourself a disservice. It's not helping you at all. You know, I just feel like we just have so much to bring to the creative front.
I mean, we are the creatives. Like, let's be honest.
But you heard what she said though. Validation.
You know.
Validation. And we'll leave it at that.
Amen.
Like that's how
that's
I
real.
Feel. That is real. Yeah. I really love this. I really love this episode.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
really like. I'm so excited.
I'm glad we got it done.
I know.
Take
so
10.
Look,
we've been trying.
What they say? One take Drake. This was definitely not a one take Drake. We definitely this is
we've been at it.
Look, God is good. We are here.
Cool.
We've established our presence. Hope you all enjoyed this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much.
No problem.
I do pray for the prosperity of Trashed Elegance.
Me too.
I pray that you continue to receive abundance and growth in the brand, in the company. I am definitely going to be getting more pieces, setting up more photo shoots.
New stuff dropping.
Period. She just did a photo shoot today.
Yeah, with Jarrell.
Yes. Shout out
models.
to Nicola. Shout out to Jarrell. Yes, he is phenomenal.
Yeah, the GOAT.
The GOAT. The GOAT. We have another GOAT in the CSR. The CSR is full of GOATs.
Yes.
Y'all just need
a
to
lot
get
of
on
talent.
it.
A lot of talent.
Y'all just need to get on it.
Yes.
Get with us.
He's so talented.
Get behind us. But it's a lot of creatives here. It's a lot of GOATs We have a lot of thoroughbreds. We have a lot of people cut from very, very authentic cloths. But yeah, join us Wednesday at 7 p.m. This episode will be dropping live. I did it right.
Okay.
I did it. And also Apple Music, Spotify. Follow, subscribe, share it, and become active. Talk to me, talk to us, so we can get you more content that you like. That's all I got for y'all today. I'm pretty blown away by this episode. I'm done. So yes. Also shop Curly Kink Connect. We have your lotus oil on deck. This is our healing and growth serum. Also, it can also be used on your face. I haven't shared that with the CSRA, but it can be used on your face. It can be used on your body. It can be used also for my braiders who get the dry cuticles. Just dab a little bit of this on your cuticles and get rid of those dry cuticles, peeling cuticles. Get rid of the pain, the bleeding, all that extra stuff. Knock that on out with that lotus herb. Yes. So, yeah. We're wrapping it up for today. Thank y'all for watching. Peace. She just won't cook me food. She just won't build my move. She don't want to see me lose. No way I got the go. On the hustle. Oh no, they ain't see the shit coming.